Hi, welcome to this week's multi-unit mastery. How are we doing today? Today we have a very interesting topic, and one that if you are a new franchisee and especially someone that is new in business management and leadership, is going to be very important for you, and it's one of the questions that my clients ask me and ask for guidance on. And the reality is, and the topic is, what is the role of a multi-unit franchisee within their organization? The reality is that having that role is sometimes a little bit confusing as to what that role is, especially if you're going from a one unit organization where you are the manager of the unit and your role is almost clear, versus having an organization that is growing into two, three, and more multi-unit organizations. And there are many franchisees that are in that situation, that they're growing, and as you grow, your role as the franchisee and leader of the organization changes. And so having clarity of how that role changes will determine how can you avoid confusion. If you do that role well, then you are able to delegate the right responsibilities and take on the right responsibilities. And if you do that, then you can create clarity and loyalty and trust from your team because of that development and growth of your role within the organization. Because if you don't change your role as you're growing, then you're going to be doing a little bit of everything for everybody, and there will not be clarity on who is responsible for what. And so this is why it is so important that you, as a leader, as a franchise owner, multi-unit organization leader, need to understand and plan for this particular change in your role. So before we go on, if you like to have topics like this and you like to learn from information and best practices like this, I would like to have you give me a like. And if you are watching this live broadcast from YouTube, subscribe to our channel so that you can see past videos and future videos like this that can help you move your business forward. And if you are watching us in all the other platforms, just give us a like. And if you have any questions or comments, I would love to hear them. Put them in the bottom, and I'd like to respond them personally. And tell us, what topics would you like to hear about in the future so that we can definitely do that. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Aisha Bascaro, and I am the founder of the American Franchise Academy, where we help franchisees create business management systems so that they can lead the organization for growth in a very consistent and constant way and with success. All right, so let's get back to the topic of the role of the franchisee in a multi-unit growing organization. I separate the role of a franchisee like that in 6 particular areas. The first and foremost role that you should play within your organization is the development of business management systems in your organization. As we have said many times in the past, your franchisor, the one that you invested the brand to invest on the rights to have the brand, will provide you with clear systems and processes, documents, even an operations manual that will tell you exactly what steps and processes to follow to duplicate the brand. But the management side of the business, the people side, the control side, the financial side, the cash management side, the marketing side, that part belongs to you. And so you, as a franchisee and leader of your organization, must develop those clear management systems in your organization so that you can then do the next role in your organization, which is to train and coach your team on those systems. And ideally, you want to start them maybe before you even open the first unit. Start thinking about how you want things to get done in your organization, but especially so when you have the one unit that you are leading yourself, and that you are actually implementing the systems, those management systems. Develop and define and design those systems so that everybody follows them from the first unit, and then you can easily duplicate them into the second, third, and fourth unit. So first create those, and then the second role is to train, coach, and and lead your people in those systems, right? Once you define the systems, it is important that that next level of command, that next line of command, is clear on what the systems are that you want, that they have the proper documentation and training so that they can start implementing them in the organization. And at the very beginning, that is your role. You created them. Now you need to communicate them to the next line of command, so that then the cascading effect of knowledge starts to happen in your organization. And then, of course, the next role that you have is, now that the systems are implemented and you had trained and coached them, right? Which you do that one time, right? And then once you train and coach them, then the next step is you follow up on those systems to make sure that they're being executed right. Right. And so now the work of the franchisee business owner is to follow up on the execution of the systems. And if at any point in time you notice that something is not being implemented, then you need to make sure that you go back and say, no, this is the system, this is the process, let's go back and do it this way, right? And the only way that you will know that is if you actually proactively follow up on all of the systems that you implemented. Because you could do all the work of creating the systems, all the work of training your people on the systems, but if you don't follow up to make sure that they're actually being used, eventually they will put to the side, they will be forgotten, and you're going to find a lot of inconsistencies in your organization that can derail your business and your financial results. Okay, which then brings us to the next role that you have as a franchisee and leader of your organization. And that is that you must respect the chain of command. That means that as you're moving up through the phases of your organization, and you go from being a unit manager to maybe a district manager to eventually director of operations, depending on the number of units that you have, those are the type of roles that you're going to be playing within your organization. And so as you're moving up to those phases of your organization, respecting the chain of command is going to be crucial for your business success, for the clarity, for the trust, for the understanding of whose role is to do what. And so respecting that chain of command will allow for you to do your job and for you to delegate responsibility to the people that should have the responsibility and have clarity throughout the organization. And so, another role that you have is to make sure and guard the financial stability and success of your organization. And that is the overall strategic role that you should play. Once you have created the management systems, you have trained and coached on them, you have followed up on them, you have now, a chain of command that you should follow. Now, of course, once you are at that level of growth in your organization, for you to safeguard the financial health of your business. And that's going to be the other role that you're going to play, especially as you grow in your organization. And so these are the 5 main roles that you have. And there's one overall role that you play in your organization. And that is that at all times, you should be the utmost person that leads and inspires the people to do well in your organization. And so who you are for the people, how you treat them, how you lead them, how you inspire them, how you demonstrate your care for them is what's going to make all the other 5 roles work in the right direction, right? And one of the things is that I always tell my clients, if you're not somebody that truly cares about your people, all of these things that you do and that we could put in place are not going to do any good. So you really need to think, how do I demonstrate to my organization, to my team, to my people that I care about them? How do I lead and inspire them to do great and to be great? Right? And so remember how the definition of leadership, right, is to be someone that inspires others to do more, be more, and achieve more. Are you that person? And so that is the overall role of you as a franchisee, no matter what phase of your organization. And so these are the role that you should play within your organization. And now, of course, this will look a little different depending on the size or the phase that you are in your organization. And what I mean by that is that if you are, like I mentioned earlier, a startup, right? You just have your first unit, you have one franchise, you are the general manager of that unit, you just recently opened, or maybe you've been operating it for a year or two, but you only have one unit and you have learned how to manage it, and you are developing your business management systems in that one unit. In that case, you are literally, already have created the systems, right? So you are literally the one training and coaching your people on how to implement and execute the systems, and you yourself managing that unit are implementing and executing those systems, right? And then of course you're following up with your team and with yourself that you're actually executing those systems, right? And so you are the chain of command, you are the leader, and then you are hands-on actually executing these systems and procedures. And so that's how it looks like when you are the unit manager of one franchise. As soon as you grow into 2 units, your role now changes. It changes in the fact that you may decide that you're going to be running one, but then you're going to be overseeing or being the district manager of a second unit that will have its own unit, which, by the way, as a franchisee that also has to oversee the financial health of the organization, you cannot manage 2 units yourself. You cannot do that and still manage the overall business. It's very, very difficult. And if you do, you're working an extraordinary amount of hours. And I don't know if that is really, really worth it, but I guess that's a decision that you're going to make. My recommendation is you manage 1 unit and you have a unit manager in a second unit, at least for a little while. But if you're going to grow beyond 2 units, now you need to have a unit manager in each unit, not only as you're preparing to open your third unit, but also as the unit is open, there should be a unit manager in that third location. Because now remember, your role is to define these business management systems. Now you're defining them, but being able to transfer them from 1 unit to 2 units to 3 units, it requires somebody overseeing that development, that creation, that implementation from unit to unit. And that is what your role is as a franchisee. Then you need to make sure that people are being trained and coached. So if you are the district manager, your role is now to train and coach the unit managers, not the crew, the unit managers. And the unit managers will in turn train and coach their team, like you were doing when you had 1 unit. And so as you're doing that, now you train them. Now your role is to follow up on the execution of those systems, right? And so as you're following up on the implementation of the systems, you are making sure that they're being done. And then here's where it comes, the chain of command. You have to respect the chain of command, because now you are playing the role of a district manager overseeing 3 units. And the chain of command is you work directly with your unit managers, but then you build relationships with your assistants and crew members, right? Your direct relationship with a unit manager is that of a trainer, a coach, a leader, a supervisor. But for the next level is to build relationships and inspire them and grow that relationship with you and the organization. That is as if you are a district manager. Now, let's say that you're growing into 4, 5, 6 units, and now you are going to hire a district manager to come and run your organization, oversee your districts while you are managing all the other systems that you have to manage, right? Because there are the management systems of a unit, but then you have the enterprise systems, right? The accounting, the human resources, the legal side, right? And if you're growing, the growth side, the building, the construction, the unit selection, all those other systems that you need to lead as the owner and leader of the organization. And so now you're going to hire a district manager to oversee your units. Chain of command. That means that you're going to be training and coaching that district manager, following up with the district manager that the systems are being put in place, and you're going to respect the chain of command, because then to the next level, who you are or should be is someone that is building a relationship. It is growing, the affinity with the organization and seeing what things you can do overall with your organization. But it is not your job to train and coach and then supervise the unit managers. You are doing that with the district manager, right? Yes, you're going to visit your unit. Yes, you can evaluate the progress, but whatever you see, you address with the district manager so that they can do their job. You respect the position and in the task that they are responsible for. And if something is not going right in the unit, then you will go and address it with the district manager. Unless, one of the things I tell my clients, if you're visiting your unit and your district manager is not there, the only time that you're going to interfere or stop or get involved in a disciplinary fashion, it will be only if there's something that you observe that is of critical nature either a food safety situation or an employee safety situation. Other than that, you got to work through the district manager. Respect the position, respect the chain of command, because if you do that, not only will the people that are responsible for that job will feel respected and supported, but the people in the stores will be clear what is a chain of command, and that will provide confidence and trust and loyalty because of that. I know sometimes it's hard, but that is the role, right? Once you have a district manager, your role now is what we call the role of a director of operations and slash franchise owner, business owner, because not only do you need to make sure that you follow up on the district manager execution of your unit systems, but like I mentioned, you have all your other enterprise systems that you must follow up to be able to do your ultimate role of caring and protecting the financial health of your organization. And so, this is kind of like the role of the franchisee, something that I know that we have discussed with our clients, and is something that's a bit of a confusion. So if you have any questions about this, or what you should do, or scenarios in which you would like me to provide you feedback, give me any comments here in this video, and to see and I will be more than happy to answer any questions you may have on this one. Now, if you'd like to learn more about information like this, make sure you do like to this video. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe to our channel so that you can see videos like this. I hope that this gave you some guidance. And I know we can talk a lot about the role of the franchisee in the different stages of their business. But I hope that this gave you at least a little bit of view of what should be your role based on the phase of your business, and you start creating clarity for yourself and your team of what your role is in the organization. All right. I hope that this helped you. And if you'd like to learn more about what we teach, what we show, the knowledge, tools, and resources that we provide, you can visit us at the AmericanFranchiseAcademy.com and send us a message there and see if we can help you implement the systems that can help you bring your business to the next level. So that's it for now. Thank you for joining me in this multi-unit mastery Monday, and we'll see you next week, where we share with you more information, best practices, and tools that will help you bring your business to the next level. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next week.